what I'm trying to do, I was at the end of the hill, and two of us are setting the thing up. We'll be able to set up the anybody who wants to get into the computer, they can. Kel and I are the only two.
Yeah, after a while, I can't take you more.
Yeah, maybe. Come on, Frank. He said he was ready, and I got him. Now I'm recording nothing. I'll go back to this.
Talking about all the advertising. Why is it so expensive? Well, this is the business. We have more millennials watching and church. Is it longer?
They used to have down that left-hand hall. You moved down the right-hand hall. I mean, that was right where everybody's getting their. You know why? They put the tables up there for Wednesday night soup suppers. Yeah, because on the left-hand side, there's tables all down there because they just don't take the tables down.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to go, man, I'll tell you, that was not.
Can I can cancel this out and say don't save and start over again. We've had 2 minutes and nothing, right?
Yeah.
I think I can.
I don't know, maybe you better just let it go.
All right, we just got a bunch of nothing.
Yeah, just let it go. Very good.
Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. Obviously, the first announcement is I'm glad you came at this time because tomorrow, remember, you've got to set your clock ahead. So, be aware. Well, your trivia for this month is Brain Injury Awareness Month and Women's History Month and National Irish Heritage Month. We don't have any Irish in the community. Okay, here's the lineup for today, and we will be talking about our financial report. And we are still solvent. And the dues renewal when we start in April, again, will be $5. Thank you for that vote of confidence. Okay, Computer Club Matters, again, next month. And it looks like we've got our crowd back, because the last 2 months we were a little bit on the short side. And we suffered here in the meeting, but Grafton Township actually suffered because there was not as much money in the kitty for Grafton Township. So every little bit we can do the rest of the year to help make up for that, that would be great. Next month is April 10th, and we have a presentation with regard to the computer integration into the school system, District 158. So for those of you, I know there are probably not very many, that have grandchildren in that school system, come and listen to see what they're doing with computers with regard to District 158 and the students. Now we will also talk about the upcoming classes in March in just a second. And we're going to have a little bit of an update on the website. And I wanted to remind you that there are some people that have come in recently and asked where should they recycle their computers. And I say, in the computer club. We do a diligent job of cleaning off your hard drive, erasing all your data, and then preparing it for disposal. So feel free to, again, avail yourself of that service that we provide. Our members are now at $15.99, so you're our quorum. The other announcements with regard to the Computer Club matters is that the snowbirds are beginning to trickle back. If you are a snowbird and you were remote for a while and did not get the newsletter, please let us know because there's some glitches in the system, but we have heard that most people are getting it. Next, in May, following the presentation next month on the school system, in May, we're talking about the need to back up your computer or your other devices and how to do that. And with regard to, I've got an apology to make to the group. I have not been checking the club email, Google or Gmail site for, well, ever since I came into office. So last week I did do that, and there was a lot of email. So I went through all of that, and some of you, if you're here today and got a response from an email you sent me in August, well, you got a response. It was a little delayed. But the email account that I am starting to check now is at the bottom of the screen up here. It's the schcomputerclub@gmail.com, and you can send your questions. However, I don't check it frequently enough. Some people have been sending an email, is that class open today? And they send it the day that the class is. I'm not checking it 100% of the time. So I will advise you to send appropriate questions to that, but recognize there may be a little bit of a time delay. Not 6 or 9 months, but a little bit. We also are proud to announce that we now have purchased the new Apple device, and it will be available in the lab after John and Gil set it all up. And there will be an operating procedures prepared for use at the time that you come into the lab if you want to use that device. Is that about right, John?
That's about right. On time.
Okay, the other upcoming general meeting, that should not be Computer Club matters, that should be community matters. No, that's right, April 14th. Okay, that's the April meeting. Then in May 19th, we are on the 3rd week, so hopefully you guys will remember to move from the 2nd week to the 3rd week. Just like you're going to set your clocks ahead, we're moving ahead a week, or behind a week. And then in June, we're back to the 2nd Saturday. Now we'll have Ralph come up and talk about training.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, we're testing everybody's memory, moving the meetings back and forth. Several things. We've been a little slow on getting classes for you guys, but instructors have been out of town. We've been busy, and it seems like now that a lot of us are retired, we're pretty busy. We can't even think 2 weeks in advance to set a class up. But anyway, a couple of good things are coming. Before I get to the actual classes, we're going to get an item called an AirTame. Yeah, AirTame. And that will allow us to hook smartphones and tablets up wirelessly. So when we have a class in the computer lab, the instructor will be able to walk around with his phone and mess with it, and you'll see it on the screen. So we're supposed to be getting that next week. And once we do, be watching your email, because we're probably going to get several classes scheduled pretty quick, because we've got some instructors just can't wait to use it. So that's going to be a good deal for everybody with smartphones and tablets. Okay, next week on Tuesday, Teresa's going to have a class on digital scrapbooks now, or photo books. I don't know how many of you remember 3 months ago, they had a little bit of a session kind of giving you an idea what can be done. I'm telling you, it's professional. So if you have any idea that you might want to take and make a digital book about family or some group or whatever, be sure and come to this class. But she says, if you think you might, you ought to have an account with Shutterfly, which is free, and bring some pictures on a jump drive. That way, if you want to try to start it on your own, she'll be able to start you there right at the class. And then possibly afterwards, we may run another workshop for everybody that really wants to do it. And then you can come in and get one-on-one or one-on-5 or however many's their help to get your digital book going. And then George is going to have a class on how to organize your files and documents. Everybody needs that. I mean, we get computers in there and they got 100 icons on the start menu and like, oh, really? But that's not really the place to store things. But George is going to go over that and explain to you how you can really clean up your computer, get things stored properly, and get them organized. And then he's going to have a class the following week on how to back up your computer, which really we should do fairly often. You can do it to the cloud, you can do it to hard drive, you can do it to jump drive, whatever. But it definitely needs to be done because many times somebody will come in with a computer that crashed on and say, well, you got stuff backed up, and when you get that look like, you know they don't. They already know that. Yeah. But everybody should. Also watch your email or come into the lab and look at our monitor because Frank's going to do a class on Google Photos /Picasa, and he's got something new coming. It's called, what is that called?
Snapseed.
What?
Snapseed.
Oh, Snapseed. Yeah, something brand new with Google Photos, Snapseed. So if you've been to his classes before and you haven't heard about Snapseed, come into his class. It's going to be at the end of this month. I haven't got a date from him yet. We're going to work that out. Also, next month, looking at another Windows 10 class. I had a class this month, in February, in Windows 10. I was so sick, I couldn't even remember what a browser was called, for crying out loud. I said, Frank, what is that Google thing called? He said, browser. I said, okay, so we're going to do that again. Looking at a class, and anybody interested in buying and selling on eBay? A few? Yeah, looking at next month, having a class on how to buy and sell on eBay, how to get registered. So watch for that. And still working on the possibility of having a greeting card class. Save you a lot of money if you know how to do your own greeting cards. So hopefully you'll continue to get our emails. And if you don't and you want to know about a class, like I say, look at the monitor, come into the computer club because we have it printed and it's right there on the bulletin board. And look forward to seeing you in classes. Thanks.
Okay, next we'd like to invite Joe up to say a few words about website use.
Yeah, I'm going to specifically talk about the SCCAH website. And everybody's talking about emails and the newsletter and all other stuff that goes out, and we know there's a lot of people not getting it. As you can see, a lot of people aren't getting them. The ones that are dropped specifically and the ones that are deferred. There's a lot of reasons for that, and the reason I'm showing that is because the information was put in by people, not necessarily you, but when they brought the system up. And there are things in there like COM is spelled OCM, therefore the email does not go through. Comcast has 2 T's on the end of it, and it doesn't go through. So if you look at your profile, look at your email very, very close. Because when you look at it on the screen, an I looks like an L, or vice versa. There are things like that. So look at your email and make sure it's correct, especially if you're not getting our emails or our newsletter. One of the things that everybody keeps saying, you get Deanna's blast, they do it a whole different way. They bought this system and we gotta live with it, and she's not using it. There are 2 different ways to get there, and we only have this way. So look at your email and things, and if you have a problem still, send the email that he gave you, SCH. I've been looking at those since they brought it up, and there are a lot of people that said that they're changing their emails. We do not change your email. You need to go to the website and change it in your profile. Next. The only reason I bring this up is there are people in here that are administrators for a neighborhood or a club, and I want to bring this up to show you that we're getting a lot of campaigns. These are the emails, they call them campaigns in this system. And you'll notice the first one is August Drinks on the Drive. I would have loved to have gone, no matter who has it, but I don't know what neighborhood to go to, okay? The thing is we do this research, it would be nice to look at specific clubs to find out who's not getting the information, and with no flag. So if you're a club or a neighborhood, if you're in neighborhood 27, for instance, prefaces theirs with N27. Not consistently, sometimes they have N space 27. And for those of you that know, computers count the space as different than not space. So pick a name like Anglers, Euchre Club puts Euchre in front of it, Bridge Club puts Bridge in front of it. Use something at the preface of your email or campaign, and that way when we sort them, we can work with you and solve this problem about how many people are not getting the information. That be consistent is when you do pick it. That's the only thing. Thank you.
Now we have association matters, and we will alert you to the fact that there is only one board meeting each month now. The next one is on March 28th at 9 a.m. in this hall. In addition, there's a Spring Consumer Showcase. Whoop. Spring Consumer Show, Spring Consumer Showcase on March 22nd, and that's going to occupy 9:30 to 4:30 the entire lodge, so I'm sure you're aware of that activity. And without further ado, we're going to introduce Paula and Adrina to make the Microsoft presentation today. Welcome, Paula.
Good morning, everybody. So, good topic today, right? Frauds and scams.
Yeah.
Has anybody been a victim of a fraud or a scam in here that you're aware of?
Can you hear you back here?
Okay, how's that? So here are the scary statistics to start out with. This is, a widespread issue. Digital fraud is a big business. A lot of people are making a lot of money from it. And so a lot of people have been victimized.
So today in the overview, we're going to learn how to identify the most prevalent digital fraud risks there are, employ good practices for safer internet surfing, and apply these skills to help you aid digital fraud in the future. So the 4 topics that we're going to touch on, we're also going to touch on about another one also after this. We're going to touch about cold calls, web ads, emails, and chat. And we're also going to throw some social media in there also. Okay? That's okay. So the first one we're going to discuss right now is going to be cold calls. Okay? Pretty much what it is, it's going to be a fraudulent caller that's going to call you on your phone, on your cell phone. They're going to say that you're having, your PC has been infected. We're here to let us have remote access to your PC. We're Microsoft. Okay? One of the main things I'll tell you right off the bat, without any hesitation, Microsoft will not ever call you. The only way we will reach out to you is if you have your PC in our store that you bring in for some particular reason. But Microsoft will never contact you. You will seek us out. So if they ever call you like that, don't even bother to entertain them, just hang up, okay? Again, it's right there on the billboard. Microsoft will not call you. Now, if you ever do need assistance, if you ever have anything like that call you, don't hesitate to call us at 1-800-642-7676. This number will take you directly to the Microsoft support team, okay? And they'll be able to help you from there with any question that you might have, or feel free to come in and talk to us anytime, okay? Now, some of the red flags you're gonna find when they're calling you on these cold calls is that they're not gonna know who you are. It's gonna be very general information they're gonna give you, okay? They're gonna tell you that they're a tech team. They're just gonna start asking you these questions, you know, you just, bad connections. I hate to say some of them might even have a very thick accent, okay? And stuff like that. They're gonna ask you about your number. You're not gonna see a consistent number even on your caller ID. It's gonna be kind of strange, okay? Now, the way to identify legitimate ones, again, you solicit them. That's the main thing that you see up there is that you solicited the call, okay? They know who you are, okay? The introduction is clear and they have a clear, concise reason for calling you. Again, Microsoft would not ever reach out to you unless you physically reach out to us, okay? The next one that we're going to discuss right now is going to be web ads, okay? And web ads are pretty much when you're going in your browser, you're searching on the internet and you see something awesome and you decide to tap on it and it takes you through. Then all of a sudden you get this pop-up. And the pop-up's telling you that you have some kind of issue going on with your PC, okay? They'll give you a security alert. A lot of these pop-ups look like this, all right? They're gonna have, all this information is gonna have more options, close, don't display any more ads, and then they'll have the traditional X on the top, okay? Now the one thing you need to be careful with these ads is that a lot of these ads will have a false close button, okay? Those two buttons that you see there that say more options and close and don't display, those can be links that'll take you to another location to go ahead and put a virus into your PC, okay? So you want to be very wary that if you see a pop-up like that, some of the best practices to do is to either exit out from the exit button right up there on the top, or literally close your browser down, do a task manager and close the browser down. Okay, that's probably even safer than exiting out. Okay? Now, some of the ways that you can tell, again, it's telling you the safe things to do. Again, the safe things to do is not to click any other buttons inside that particular ad and to just the exit out. But again, like I said, the safest way to do is just to close the browser down if you can. All right? And if you get ones that come out with these phone numbers, do not call them. Do not call those numbers. A lot of times you call that number, it'll patch you through to somewhere else completely that you have nowhere else where you're going to. They're going to tell you, oh, we're Microsoft, or we're Microsoft certified partners, or something like that. And they're going to tell you, give me remote access to your PC. You'll give them remote access to your PC, and then next you know you're going to have a Trojan in your PC. And Trojans are not fun. Trojans pretty much go into your PC and encrypt all your data. Okay? So never call those numbers. Another big thing that a lot of people are not aware about is the web searching. Okay? You go in, you're looking for a particular item in your web browser. Okay? You type it in. You're going to get all this wonderful stuff. And you're going to think that the first one on the top is the legitimate one that you're trying to look for. But unbeknownst to a lot of people, Google, Firefox, you actually can pay them to have your company listed at the uppermost part. So those companies on the top that you see highlighted in yellow, that's a legitimate company. It is. It's paid good money to be up there. But they are not Microsoft. Okay, that is not Microsoft. If you see, Microsoft is actually the fourth one on the bottom. Well, the last two. But that top one is not Microsoft. And we're going to talk a little bit about looking at the URLs. So you have to be very vigilant when you're looking up items on web searches, okay? Don't take it at first glance that what you're seeing is the actual area that you're trying to go to. Pay attention to URLs. Be observant. Because the first thing you're going to notice in that URL on that top is that it says Microsoft-support.2.7 techies.com. Yeah, that's not Microsoft. Okay? They're legitimate. They're not even a partner. They're certified. But it's not us. okay? And sometimes illegitimate or not legitimate companies do pay money to have their advertisement put up there. And it's best practice in general is to be very observant of what you're searching. Don't take everything on the internet or in your browser completely, take it with a grain of salt, okay? Because you just have to be wary. So some of the main things you're gonna want to look at is to make sure that the URL is exactly what you're looking for. If you look at the Microsoft URL, which is highlighted in the green on the bottom, you're gonna notice the URL actually says https, //support.microsoft.com. And if you look at the one above that, it actually has an ad logo next to it. And then it says Microsoft Support 247 techies, yada, yada. You'll know right away that is not Microsoft, and the top and the bottom one is the legitimate website that you're looking for in regards to that particular support subject. And never click on an ad to upgrade, like Java update, Windows update, browser update, drivers update, Adobe update, that is an ad that's come through. Windows updates automatically update on their own, okay? Your browser automatically updates on its own. Your drivers automatically update on their own, okay? So does your Adobe, especially if you're paying for the subscription, okay? And the Java. And phishing and malware, again, that's when you have to go into checking URL bars, your lock symbols, and your HTTPS. Usually at the end of the address bar, you're going to see like a little lock at the end of that address bar. That address bar is the one person telling you that it's secure that area. And a lot of your antiviruses or anti-malware will actually give you a notification if that website is suspect, that it's not a secure website. And it will give you that option that if you want to go ahead and continue going to that website at your own risk, okay? And again, it's the same thing. It's just telling you, just be very careful, watch what you're looking at, make sure you observe very well and read it over. I know the human eye has a tendency that we're in a hurry. We type in something, we glance over things, and we just, oh, that's it, and we touch on it, and it takes us to wherever it wants to take us. So we gotta be very careful. Now, another one that they're really good at getting viruses and malware is through emails, okay? Emails are very notorious for that. You're gonna get an email. I've seen emails come in from, let's see, from UPS saying that you got a package, okay? I've seen emails saying you've got a relative who lives in Nigeria who left you $100 million and you gotta pay them $1,200 to get your money. I've seen emails stating that your nephew or your granddaughter is stuck in California with no money, can you send them money? So the emails are really good at that. Best rule of thumb, to tell you the truth, in regards to personal emails, we're going to talk about this in a moment. If you don't know it, don't open it. Delete it. Get rid of it. Don't even bother to open it. Okay? Best rule of thumb. Now, in regards to emails from us, the reason why they bring this up is because there's a lot of people who get emails stating that it's from Microsoft, okay, and it's not from us. If you notice on this email, it looks really good until you sit there and you scrutinize it. Once you start scrutinizing, you're going to notice a few things that are a little strange on it. So if you look at the email on this particular email is not Microsoft. It actually says support.microsoft@npl.com. Totally not us. And this is not just us. This is going to happen with other emails too. This is how they get it. If you look at the body of the email, you're going to have strange characters. If not strange characters, you're going to have misspelled characters or misspelled words. And then the key thing you're going to see on there, it threatens you. It tells you that if you don't go in and renew or reset your password, they're going to deactivate your Outlook account. Okay? It's not true. Okay? And then you're going to see that some of the, images are low resolution. They're kind of blurry. And then you have that hyperlink. Don't ever go to a hyperlink you don't know. The easiest way to find out where the hyperlink is going to send you, hover over your hyperlink with your cursor and it will tell you the full URL. If that URL doesn't match to where it's coming from, you know that hyperlink is going to take you somewhere else. And that somewhere else is probably somewhere to give you a virus or to get into your PC so they can get your information. Okay? And another key thing is that their copyright is wrong. The copyright dates are completely wrong. I don't know how many people are going to view that, but the copyright is usually wrong on those emails. Okay? And again, the same practice they say here is report it, delete it, alert others at their risk. Don't open an attachment, don't respond to the mail, don't click on the links, and never supply your password in an email or a suspicious sign-in page. Okay? And as you can see here, it's going to show you a legitimate Microsoft email. The web address is correct, no strange characters, no threatening, high resolution images. The hyperlinks are correct when you hover over them. There's no typos and the copyrights are correct also. Again, it's just giving you examples of a correct, legitimate Microsoft email. Okay. Now another one we're going to talk about is chats. I'm not sure how many of you chats, but those chats also include Skyping. And I know I was here last year and we did a big seminar about this large about Skyping also. Skyping is wonderful. FaceTime is amazing. Okay. Those are all wonderful things that we can speak to people across the world, you know, at our discretion. But they can also be traps for helping people get into your information. Okay. Again, best rule of thumb. You don't know the person contacting you or trying to make friends with you on Skype or trying to make friends with you on FaceTime or Snapchat. I'm not sure how many of you do any of these things, or Instagram or even Facebook, okay? LinkedIn, any kind of social media, because this is part of social media. You don't know the people, don't add them, okay? Block them, all right? That's the best rule of thumb again. Is just to block them, don't even bother adding them to your account, okay? Because then you can add them in, and you're gonna look into a whole barrel of monkeys that you don't wanna deal with, all right? Now another thing they're gonna talk about here is video chatting. Go to the next one. There you go. Video chatting. Again, it's great, it's awesome. And one of the key things I'll tell you right now is that if all of a sudden you make a friend, and you make a friend on social media, and then you're like, oh, you know, I enjoy talking to you, let's video chat. And then turn around, oh, my camera's broken. Oh, I can't meet today. More than likely, they're not who they're saying who they are. And we're going to get into a little bit of a subject that's not on here. We're going to talk a little bit about social media in regards to like companion websites, okay? A lot of people go onto these companion websites like Match.com, singleparents.com, plentyoffishandseed.com. All these places, they are chock full of viruses, chock full of malware, and chock full of predators out there looking for people to get money from. Okay? They'll sit there and tell you, oh, you're great, I love you, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Give me $1,200 and I'll be right over. Okay? And you'd be surprised how many people do this. And it's horrible how many people do this. You have people carrying a full-blown relationship for 2 or 3 years. They've never met this individual. And then you ask them, well, why don't you guys ever do video, chatting? Oh, they're not able to, their camera's broken. It's probably not them. They're probably somewhere else from another country. They're doing what is called catfishing, where they're putting in different pictures that isn't them. They probably pulled a picture off of somewhere off online, because you can find so many pictures online, put it on as their ad, even with more pictures on there, and it's totally not them, okay? Again, just be worried about what you're doing. If you don't know them, that's okay. If you don't know them, don't talk to them. If you've never heard of them, don't talk to them. And when you're doing Skype and FaceTime, make sure that you get a profile picture on there, okay? Make sure you have a distinguished profile, like a distinguishable profile picture under that they know it's you, so that when your friends and family are looking for you through this social media, they know it's you, okay? They know that's your picture. They know that's something that represents you, because that's how these people get in, okay? And once you let them in like that, that's it, all right? And including with the email, again, rule of thumb with the email, you don't know the email, you don't want to know where it's coming from, you didn't put a package that you're waiting for a package from UPS, don't answer it. Just exit out. And there's so much technology in regards to like blocking phishing emails. So phishing emails are pretty much emails that come in under a known email that you know, but it's going to have different characteristics on the ends. If you don't recognize that email, don't answer it. And usually, like if you have Outlook or if you have Gmail or whoever it is that you're using as your email, there's actual areas there you can report that email as a phishing email so that it knows to start blocking it and it knows to start pulling it before it continuously comes into your emails, okay? Now the thing that we have up here is that if your computer ever freezes, okay, the best thing to do is to stop what you're doing, try to power it off, close your screen, and hold your button down. Now that's if you pull in like one of these items that pop ups and all of a sudden your computer freezes and it doesn't allow you to close it out. Just do what is called a hard restart, okay? Do a hard restart, and if you know how to do like a cleaning cycle or whatever antivirus that you have in your PC, go ahead and put it through a quick, virus scan, okay? And if after that you're still having issues, you can come to your wonderful gentleman here in the computer club. And then if after that you're still having issues, you can come to us. Okay, we would gladly help anybody. Antivirus removal for Microsoft is free. Malware removal for Microsoft is free. And we can also deal with those wonderful Trojans that like to come in also, which is the encryption of your data. Or it's called ransomware also, where they encrypt your data. They'll tell you, yeah, sure, we'll let it go for $500, $1,200. Okay, you can come in and bring that to us also if these guys can't tackle it here, okay? Now, the thing that we were talking about right now, we also have like a membership at Microsoft, and that membership deals with like technical services, it deals on one-on-one training. You guys seem to have a great computer class here, a great computer program here, a great computer club. But if there's anything there that they cannot answer you, which I think very few, because they're very good at it. I've seen your guys' computer club, it's amazing, I'm jealous. And if they can't answer it, you can come to us, okay? We would gladly help you. Our people there are really good, they're certified, okay? Your Assure membership is $149 for a year. It covers up to 5 devices in your household, over the phone 24-hour tech support, in-store tech support, and one-on-one training with a person like myself, because I'm the one who does the majority of trainings at the Microsoft Store, okay? We also have AARP classes that do every Tuesdays and Thursdays in different subjects, and then you can just come in and say hi, okay? Now, what this is telling you here is that these kind of risks are the same as somebody coming to your door and portraying somebody who they're not. I know there was prevalent for a while there in the city of Chicago where people were coming up to your door saying that they work for ComEd, saying that they work for People's Gas. Let me see your bills so I can go ahead and switch you over to a cheaper type of electric company. They would steal your information, and next you know you have a nice case of identity theft going on. This is the same thing, except it's through technology. Now these things can happen over your phone and in your tablet also, okay? The best rule of thumb is to be careful what you're doing. Okay, if you have McAfee, great, let it run. If you have Windows Defender, make sure that you're abiding by what it's telling you. Make sure you're checking your antivirus, make sure it's running, it's consistently up and running. If it needs an update, make sure you get an update on it, okay? And that's pretty much what we're talking about. Again, it's being active, stay vigilant, report the bad guys if you can. Be an ambassador, in other words, tell people if things have happened to you, tell your friends and family and tell them to be wary of the things that are coming through. If you get an email, or a lot of things that's been going on right now lately too, is that if anybody has Facebook and they have Facebook Messenger, malware is coming through on the Facebook Messengers also. So people are sending messages through the Facebook Messenger, and you're opening it up and it's releasing malware into your PC. Okay? So be very careful on those also. I had a friend that happened, she sent me an email, she had to send an email to everybody telling everybody that a message went through and it brought malware. Hopefully it doesn't affect any of us. Okay? And again, these are websites that you can actually contact in regards to reporting scams. You can contact not only us, that's okay. You can contact not only us, you can actually contact AERP. You can contact the FTC. You can contact the NAAG, Better Business Bureau, FBI, and that's for Canada, United Kingdom, the last two in the bottom. If you want to go ahead and snap a picture of that, so you have those web addresses, so if you need to file a complaint or anything like that, okay? It's going to give time for everybody to get that picture. Good? Is everybody good with that? All right, so that ends the presentation. Now we get to the juicy part, questions. Okay, gentlemen back there.
The pop-up windows that are all snapped, you said you tried to be faulty closeout. The red closeout, is that always legitimate, or can that be a faulty?
That can be a false button too. That can be a false button too. To tell you the truth, whenever I see those pop-ups, I normally just go to Task Manager and I just end it or close the browser. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, right here. This gentleman right here.
Sometimes I get an email where I'm not sure who the sender is. I don't know who the sender is, but the subject line indicates it's something I'm currently doing, like contacting the business with a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm unsure, but I opened that anyhow, and I realize it's something else entirely, and I just close it. Is that safe, or is it? As long as I don't do anything on the screen, on the text area,
Yeah.
if I just open it and see what's in there and then close it right away, that's safe?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
You're kind of doing a 50-50 chance there where it can, as soon as you open it up, it can actually release information into your PC or take information. The best thing, again, usually when you get those replies from companies, it's going to say add a no reply. Usually at the end, it'll have the asterisk and then it says noreply.com. Those are usually the legitimate ones that are coming from companies that you went and you actually asked a question from it. Again, if you don't know it, just exit it out. And if it really is that company, they're going to reach out again to you and send out another one.
If I were?
Yeah, okay.
Larry, if I
Yeah,
question.
sure.
I've gotten used to that, but why don't companies in there to send you the no reply email type, why don't they have their name somehow as a domain name or something so you know who the hell's sending it?
They normally do. They normally do. The ones who don't, you need to send them feedback so that they could know, and they need to get quicker with the times that they know, realize that that's how people are getting into people is by not having a concise email like that or having a good domain location so that people know where these emails are coming from. Okay? That's it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, I got a virus a few months ago, and I had McAfee on my computer, and it absolutely didn't catch it or help me in any way. I went online and I downloaded Spy Hunter, I believe is the name of it. Man, Spy Hunter got it, erased it. Is there any, in that regard, is there anything that, one company that you particularly recommend?
Nothing that you have to pay for.
Yeah. Oh, well, I did pay for a Spy Hunter, yeah.
Well, look at, if you have Windows 10, if you have Windows 8.1, if you have Windows 8, it already has an antivirus in there that you don't have to pay. It's called Windows Defender. Okay, Windows Defender is completely free for the lifetime of your PC, and I have yet to have issues with it. And I've had my PC for 5 years completely reliant on Windows Defender. Now, Windows Defender is smart enough that to know that if you have another antivirus in there, it's not gonna work simultaneously with that other antivirus because your firewalls are gonna be hitting like this, and you're gonna leave chinks in it open for that you're gonna get something in. So Windows Defender knows that if you have McCaffrey, if you have Kaspersky, if you have Spy Hunter, any other virus, antivirus or anti-malware in there combined, it'll know to shut off and let that one run because it's giving you that option as the consumer to make that decision for yourself. Now, if you ever decide that you no longer want to pay for your antivirus, okay, because nowadays you shouldn't have to pay for them. If you get them free with like Comcast, if you get it free with like AT&T, completely fine. You shouldn't have to pay for antivirus anymore, okay? If you decide you don't want to pay anymore, you have to physically take that virus, the antivirus, out of your PC. You have to literally go in and uninstall that program for Windows Defender to kick in automatically and start working. Now, Windows Defender is an active antivirus and anti-malware. Now, the only other malware addition that I might recommend is Malwarebytes, and you can get that for free, okay?
What would I do if someone sends me an email and says they think that I've been hacked because they got something from me?
Ignore it. Completely ignore it. Unless you know that you sent it out to them, that you reached out to the company, delete it. Don't bother.
But this would be a friend that got something they thought came from me, so they thought I was hacked.
Call your friend before you open that email, okay? And then change your password. Yeah.
Yeah, those are, a lot of those would be, someone got your email contact list.
They hacked your email, they got into your contact list, and they're sending all these broad emails. This lady here, and then there's a lady back there who raising their hand.
Thank you. Or one of your friends opened something they shouldn't have, and it got their contact list, which you were on.
My question is about unsubscribing. Sometimes they ask so many detailed questions that I'm afraid to unsubscribe. And B, one time I really tried to unsubscribe from everything. I was no longer interested. And only about half went through, and the rest I still got the emails I was no longer interested in. Why is that? Was it me?
No, it's not you. It's some companies will make it very easy. All you have to do is click that unsubscribe. They'll ask you why are you doing it, and to enter your email that it's being sent to, and it's done. But there's other companies, they want you to keep getting that, and they'll make it very difficult for you. The best thing to do is to actually start pushing those into spam. Make a rule on your email to move those particular ones that you're not able to unsubscribe from because you don't feel comfortable doing it, and push it into your spam folder. Do you have any suggestions, Paula?
Yeah, you can also contact the Federal Trade Commission because, you know, you are supposed to be removed immediately when you ask to be removed from an email list, and if they don't, they're in violation. So you can report them to the FTC, but it's also possible if you have subscribed to something more than once, you're gonna get more emails, and then you gotta unsubscribe to all of them. I have 2 email accounts, and if I'm like asking for a newsletter from a business or something, I use one email for that, and the other email is my personal email. So then, you know, I don't have a contact list on that other one that they can hack into.
I thought of that last suggestion. Is there a way to tell these companies this is my new email address so they automatically migrate to what I would consider my junk email?
Well, I think only if you unsubscribe and then resubscribe to the other email, but if you're unsubscribed, like, I'm gonna need to do that, yeah.
Yeah, unsubscribe is just like the do not call list for phones.
It's supposed to be, it's supposed to be, yeah. There's a lady back there, I know she was waving her hand fiercely too after this gentleman. There she is. Go ahead, sir.
Just add a little bit of humor, maybe. I've been called a couple times by the IRS.
Oh, I should have mentioned that one. I love that one.
You know, the first time it was a little rough at first. I was shaken up. But the second time, And you know, when the person said we're gonna have an IRS man come over in 15 minutes, so I said, why don't you have him bring the sausage pizza? That's what they're saying.
I'm so glad you have one. You know, another one that they do is they're saying they're a collection agency. That's another one that they're doing right now. They're saying that they're a collection agency and that they have important papers that came across their desk, and if you don't call them immediately, they're gonna have the authorities come and arrest you. I think I should be in prison already for 10 years with that. Don't even entertain those. And if you have VoIP, like VoIP landlines or any type of landlines like that, put them into your block list. Okay, Comcast and AT&T have great ways of putting those into your block list. You can block all those calls. And if you have like a regular cell phone or like a regular landline or cell phone, you can block those calls. And if you have a landline that has like the newer like portable house phones, you can block all those calls too. Don't even answer them. They're not them. We all know that IRS and collection agencies will not call us and say they're going to send us out to be arrested right now. You know, it's seriously.
Is there a difference between Control Alt Delete and a hard close? Which is better?
The close Alt Delete, all it's going to do is going to actually end the current programs that are running. You can do both. I mean, they're both equal, but sometimes with those pop-ups, they'll freeze your whole PC. And when it freezes your whole PC, that's when you're going to want to do the off button, do like a hard reboot, okay? If you're able to do the Control-Alt-Delete, then do the Control-Alt-Delete. It's going to open up your task manager, and you'll be able to close that browser from that manager, okay? I have a gentleman over there.
Digital assistants like Alexa, Cortana, what kind of security issues do they present?
As for Alexa, I'm not too sure what kind of security issues that they have in regards to her, except for that if you say things wrong and she picks it up, you're going to have a bunch of pornography coming out on your Alexa. But Cortana is through us, and our security systems are very secure. We have yet to have any issues with being hacked. Thank goodness. Our security measures, even to retrieve your Microsoft account, I've been told are kind of crazy. But if you think about it, the different layers that our security system has in regards to that is the reason why we have yet to be hacked. Okay, I had a gentleman come in. He was very upset because he couldn't retrieve his Microsoft account, and he came in to tell me that he was able to reset his bank account password easier than that. And maybe you should think about a different bank. Okay, to tell you the truth, because there are multiple layers when it comes into retrieving your Microsoft account, and Cortana is directly linked to that. The only way that you're able to have Cortana active on your Windows 10 is if you give her permission 1, and you have to have your Microsoft account connected to her too. So that's where you have that additional layer. There's layer upon layers of security when it comes to Microsoft. Yes, sir.
I have a Windows 10 machine, and it came loaded with Defender.
Yes.
I didn't care much for the browser that came with it. I had a lot of difficulty, particularly for the first year or two. So I've been using mostly Firefox and or Google's Chrome browser. Now, Defender will not protect those two systems on that machine, will it?
Yes.
It'll protect.
Yes. It's all part of, so Windows Defender is part of your operation system. Good question. So it's going to protect your whole PC in regards to the browser, regardless if it's not our browser.
That includes the competition, that it will protect not just against the browser that came with Windows 10, but it will protect both Chrome and Firefox.
Yes.
Okay,
Definitely.
thank you.
You're welcome. The gentleman over here.
I was told that if you have a bad email come in like that, you know, it's fraud or it seems like it, you could forward it to abuse.microsoft.com or whatever, like abuse.adobe.com. And there's a group that takes care of it. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Other question?
I just wanted to mention that for people that send emails with 100 email copy to all these people, that's how they often get all these email addresses. And so it would be better if people would send to undisclosed recipient list.
An undisclosed recipient list also, and then if you're sending like a chain, clear the last information that you have there also. that helps a lot too. Do you have any other questions?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would like to make one comment on, if you get one of these pop-ups that lock up your computer more or less and nothing works, the easiest and safest way to get out of any of those type of pop-ups is the power key. Just take your finger and hold the power key down, count to 15, release it, and then wait about a second or two, and touch it again and it'll restart. So then your browser might come up with a message saying, do you want to go back to where you were? You don't want to go back to where you were. You say no, and that should be the end of that message, is that you didn't get anything yet.
Yes.
One thing we just kind of mentioned in passing in some slides here is your password protection. Change your passwords on all your accounts frequently, on your email, on your Facebook, whatever. And I know it's hard to remember your password sometimes, but do that, because if your friends are calling you and saying, hey, I got spam email from you, it's because your password was hacked. And don't feel bad, Microsoft tests us, so we got some phishing email from Microsoft. Half of us at the store opened it, because it looked so real, you know. And then there were links in there to click on, so they're testing us to see how far we'll go to open a bad email. So, you know, don't feel bad if you've done that too.
What is your take on password managers?
Like programs.
Well, you know, I've been told by the FBI that they're a really good thing to use, because they will create a really, really complicated password. Scammers are, you know, very, very good and very, very fast about cracking a password. So the more frequently you change them and the more complicated they are, it just takes them longer to get into your system. And just a word about the FBI. If you do call them about something, they're going to tell you they're too busy with cyber terrorism to check into your issues. So call the Attorney General or, you know, someone more local.
A password manager can be set up to frequently change its code, correct? Any other questions? We had a great day. Oh, we got one more question?
One more.
Yes. Yes. LastPass is just an example of that. Carbonite, I think, is another one. Is that right?
In other words, that LastPass is good to use, right?
I think we've had good success with LastPass.
One more thing for you guys out there. Don't keep your passwords on your PC. Don't keep a list of your passwords on your PC. If you keep a list of passwords on your PC, make sure that Excel spreadsheet you have has a password on it, okay? So you keep that secure. And if you have to keep passwords like a list, because I know I have a list, I actually keep it the old-fashioned way, which is I tape it somewhere secret and have it there. You keeping your password on your PC without having that particular worksheet locked, they're going to get it if they get into your PC. Okay? Yes. Okay. You don't want to keep it on your smartphone either, unless you have it password protected also for that particular page that you have it. Okay?
Feel free to come up and ask them a few more questions. They'll be around here for a few minutes, but thank you very much for coming today.
Sorry,
They stuff sometimes.